Welcome to another video. This is going to be yoga practice class number 11, karmasana. So we are slowly moving towards the development of the upper body. So right from yoga practice class number 1 to class number 10, we focused on the base, the foundation of our body, which is the legs and the lumbar region, the lower back. And then slowly from class number 9 to 10, we are slowly moving towards the upper body, the development of the upper body. So this is going to be another video where we slowly move and work on the upper body. So whenever we talk about the development of the upper body, normally when people want to train their upper body, they think about developing big strong arms and shoulders, right? So because 2/3 of the arms is the tricep muscle, so people start working on their push-ups and their bench presses, and even in the yogic culture, people do multiple Surya Namaskars, 100 Surya Namaskars. They start their sun salutations or Surya Namaskars, thinking that they will develop their body by practicing all of that. But the thing is, that is not the right approach towards development of the upper body because of a muscular imbalance known as the upper cross syndrome. I have already spoken about this upper cross syndrome in one of my earlier videos, like in the video where I spoke about the tongue lock, which is the Khechari mudra, and the partial chin lock. That video link is in the description below. You can check that out. In that video, I spoke about the muscular imbalance known as the forward chin posture. Okay, so that the forward chin posture is also known as the upper cross syndrome, and this syndrome, this problem, this muscular imbalance is one of the reasons why most people never develop big strong arms, because the upper cross syndrome is something that is prevalent in most of the people, even if it may not be as like maybe in at a very mild level, but people mostly have this problem, and this is one of the reasons why they are never able to develop or strengthen their shoulders and their arms properly, because they never correct this muscular imbalance. So the upper cross syndrome or the forward chin posture is basically a muscular imbalance where there is this muscular imbalance in the shape of a cross in the upper body. Basically, along a crisscross line, there is a muscular imbalance, wherein there's this hyperactive and tight lower chest muscles accompanied with tight upper trapezius and back of the neck muscles. This basically makes the shoulders get rounded and the chin sticks out in an undesirable way, and this is further made worse by the fact that there is this weakening of the lower trapezius and the middle trapezius muscles along with the serratus anterior muscles. This is again accompanied with a similar weakness or lengthening of the neck flexor muscles and the upper chest muscles. This is what causes the upper cross syndrome. This is what the upper cross syndrome really is. So as you can see, now I'm actually exaggerating it a little bit in this video, but normally it's a lot subtler than this, and it causes the winging of the shoulder blades or the winging of the scapulae, which makes the shoulders get rounded like this. But ideally the shoulders are supposed to be pointing sideways and the chin should be tucked behind properly like this. So why does this happen? Well, I have spoken about this before also. Something advantageous also sometimes comes with its disadvantage. The thing is, the bipedal design of the human body, it is very useful, but it also comes with disadvantages, and this is one of the disadvantages. Because we are standing on two legs, we are most of the times, whenever you're working on anything working with our hands, most of the times what we're doing is we are working in front of us, we are operating in front of us. So that actually requires us to do the adduction movement. Adduction movement is basically movement of the arms towards the midline of the body. So most of the time it's an adduction movement because we're working in front of us. Any work that we do with our hands is always in front of us. So that's the reason why there is a natural tendency to keep on working on the muscles that help in adduction, that is the movement of the limbs towards the center of the body. So that is one of the reasons why the chest muscles are already very active. Now, because of this, and because of the fact that people don't know how to basically train their bodies properly, what happens is this already hyperactive chest muscle tends to take most of the load. So, like if you're trying to train your arms, like if you're trying to train your triceps or your biceps, like if you're trying to do any pushing movement, what is happening is majority of the load is taken by the hyperactive chest muscles. And even when you're doing any bicep workout, if you're trying to lift anything, again those tight chest muscles will take majority of the load, and the proper lengthening and contraction of the bicep muscle is also hindered due to the fact that the chest muscles are already so tight and they are taking so much of the load, and that kind of stops the proper development of your arms and your shoulders and the proper strengthening of your arms. So that is the reason why whenever you start working on your upper body, you should first make sure that you don't have such muscular imbalances. So that is the reason why I've made this video to talk about karmasana, which is one of the practices that you can do to ensure that you correct this muscular imbalance. And if you don't have this muscular imbalance, this will ensure that you avoid it or prevent it. Karmasana has two parts. The first part is done in the standing position. So basically you just interlock the fingers behind you and bring the palms together, straighten the elbows and contract the back muscles in such a way that the shoulder blades come as close to each other as possible. And then you keep the neck muscles tight. You can use the tongue lock as well as the partial chin lock to keep the neck muscles tight. Then you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you take the palms towards the left side while simultaneously bending laterally towards the right side. You completely breathe out and maintain this position where the right arm will be touching the back. Make sure that no part of the body below the navel region moves, only the upper body should bend laterally like this. Neck muscles are tight using the tongue lock and the partial chin lock. With the breath held out, you maintain for 8 seconds and breathe in, straighten, and we do the same thing on the other side. We again slowly breathe out. This time the left arm will be touching the back and the palms will be taken towards the right side. Body bending towards the left. No part of the body below the navel region is moving. Breath held out for 8 seconds, maintain again, and then breathe in, straighten. Then we slowly breathe in and then breathe out, bend in front like this. Again, contract the neck muscles nicely and pull the hands as high as possible towards the ceiling as much as possible. This will open up and stretch the chest muscles, and in fact in every position the chest muscles are opening up and getting stretched, and the shoulder blades come as close to each other as possible. Then in the final position, you slowly stretch the hands downwards and stretch the upper body backwards while breathing in, and you maintain this final position with the breath held in for 8 seconds. Each position is held for 8 seconds with breath held out, but in this final position the breath is held in for 8 seconds. This completes the first part of one round. The second part involves you sitting on your heels in the Virasana position, but of course everyone may not be able to do the Virasana. So what you can do is you can simply sit on the heels with the toes pointing in front like this. This is for those people who find Virasana a bit challenging. I will be, for the sake of demonstration, doing it in Virasana, because the ideal thing to do would be to do the entire thing again in Virasana. But like I said, you can do it with the toes pointing in front as well. So basically, this is the second part. You do the exact same thing, but the only difference is you're doing it in Virasana. Just make sure that you open up the chest nicely, so that chest muscles stretch nicely. The shoulder muscles or the back muscles are contracted so that the shoulder blades come as close as possible. And then you tighten the neck muscles using the tongue lock and the partial chin lock. Then everything else is the same. You do the exact same thing in Virasana or while sitting on the heels. The only difference over here is that when you bend in front, you basically bring the head down to the floor and the forehead touches the knees. Again, you hold the breath out for 8 seconds. And again, in the final position, you breathe in and hold the breath in and maintain for 8 seconds. So this completes the second part. The first part and the second part together make one round. Do 4 rounds of this, and this is karmasana. And this is it for now. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.